Shalom. I didn't really have anything to start this particular video with. Just wanted to note. Um, so the Hebrew scriptures, they're so in synagogues. What happens is, and this is actually apparently also in the Christian Bible, it talks about this. So there's the five books of Moses, which that's the Torah, which are considered, specifically the most important part of the Bible. And that is split into five humashim, right? 5/5 literally. And so the names and then they're read in parshas, right? They're read in different portions based on a calendar. You can look up the calendar if you want. All of this stuff is available online if you're interested in it. But so there's a parsha, and that's the section from the Torah that's read, and the whole Torah is read every year, full, right? On the Sabbaths, right? Um, and then, and based on the calendar, sometimes, because there's the holiday readings and whether the holidays fall on the Sabbath or not, there's a liturgical calendar. But in any case, every year, Simchat Torah, which is right around Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, right after Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, Simchat Torah, we finish and then we start Bereshit again, right? And like I said, when we talked about Bereshit, so the Chumash, the five books of Moses, their names come from the first word, right? Almost first word. We'll see, including in this parsha, that it's the first unique word, right? That makes it easy to know which part we're talking about. So I didn't talk about Noach, right? So the first parsha is obviously Bereshit, and the name of the book, Genesis, is Bereshit in Hebrew. The second parsha is Noach, and they have the various parshiot here. So Parshat Bereshit, Parshat Noach, and we're about to start Parshat Lech Lecha, right? And we'll get right into that. And then along with that, there is a portion of either Nevi'im or Ketuvim. So the Hebrew Bible is split into three parts in Judaism. It's called Torah, Nevi'im, which means the prophets, and Ketuvim, which means the writings. And we use the acronym of that, right? The Rosheh Tevot of that, Tanakh, to refer to the Bible. Okay? So Torah, Nevi'im, Ketuvim. Rosheh Tevot, the acronym of that is Tanakh. So we read the whole of the Torah every year. And there are various sections which are part of, it depends on the tradition. Different traditions read different parts. There's all kinds of traditions, and it's supposed to be something that goes along the same themes as the Torah reading, either from the Nevi'im or Ketuvim, which are read along with the Parsha in the synagogue readings. Okay, the whole of the Nevi'im and Ketuvim are not read. And there are people who say that supposedly parts which are not included in the haftarot, that's we refer to. So haftarah comes from the root pe taf, no pe tet, not taf, pe tet resh, which means to basically to finish, to be done with, or to not have to deal with anymore, right? So the haftarah is what allows you to finish the Torah reading, right? So you read the Torah and then you read the haftarah, right? Which is the finishing part of the reading. Okay. That's a whole. I mean, you can read up on this stuff. I just wanted to explain it briefly. And then in the Ketuvim, there are also the 5 scrolls, the Megillot. So you may have heard the whole Megillah, right? The whole Megillah is a saying in English that comes from the Yiddish, which comes from the Hebrew, and it's actually talking about Megillat Esther, right? The book of Esther, which is one of the 5 Megillot, one of the 5 scrolls in the Ketuvim, because on Purim, which is coming up actually next week, we read the whole Megillah. We read the whole thing, which is kind of long, and people who read it. That's how that's where the term whole Megillah comes from, right? So to read the whole Megillah means to read the whole thing, right? The whole long thing, which is the Megillat Esther, which is the long thing we read. So just wanted you to understand a little bit more about the liturgical calendar of how the Torah is written. Torah and parts of Nevi'im and Ketuvim are read in the Bible. Unfortunately, just like I would say probably most Christians haven't read the whole Bible, most Jews have not read the whole Bible. There are, of course, Jews who take the time not to just read the Torah. I would say it's quite likely that most Jews have read the whole of the Torah, because we do spend so much, the 5 books of Moses. That's if somebody's read anything, it's probably the 5 books of Moses, right? Genesis, Exodus, Numbers, Leviticus, and Deuteronomy. Those 5 books are probably the ones that everyone's read. They may know the 5 Megillot, especially the book of Jonah, which is read on Yom Kippur, which is one of the few days of the year where pretty much all Jews go to synagogue. And they may not know much of the other parts. Certain Tehillim, certain Psalms are very well known, especially the ones that are like part of the Hallel and stuff, or said on a daily basis. But generally, most of Nevi'im and Ketuvim, obviously Isaiah is a very popular one, especially a lot of the Haftarot come out of Isaiah. But that's also, I mean, that's gotten into a bit of controversy between Jews and Christians. What exactly the Haftarot, what exactly the meaning of Isaiah is? That's where the supposed forbidden Haftarah chapter is, which of course isn't forbidden at all. And it's actually probably one of the more well-read ones, which is what makes, because it's between a couple of Haftarot, depending on the tradition. And so some people want to say that that's a hidden chapter of the Bible. But if you want to hide something, probably hiding it in Isaiah between Haftarot is probably one of the worst places you could hide it, because people tend, if they're going to read parts of the Bible, Jews are going to read part of the Bible, it's actually reading between the Haftarot, because people will read around the Haftarot to kind of see the context, to understand what it is. And especially some people, they try to read the Haftarah out of the actual books, right? So a well-stocked Jewish household will of course have the Torah with Rashi, right? Well, okay, let's start with a basic Jewish library. A basic Jewish library, at the very least, is going to have the Torah with hopefully Rashi at least, and a Sidur, which is the prayer book, right? And the Sidurim, they vary with traditions. Different people have, they're very similar. They basically have the same things in them, but the wording is a little bit off. So most people have a Sidur and have a Torah, probably with Rashi. Okay? If you're gonna go a little bit beyond that, probably people will have machzorim, which are the prayer books for holidays, which is another, a few some people have. Um, the next step up, I would say, is probably people will start having either the Code of Jewish Law or a Kitzur Shulchan Aruch or some kind of simple, abridged version or commentary on that maybe. A lot, very likely, people will start having other commentaries on the Torah other than Rashi. Very likely one is a very likely one is the Ramban Nachmanides. People will tend to have at least a book of Psalms around. That's actually pretty common, to have the book of Psalms at least. But then people will have a Tanakh around. That's very likely. I would say maybe even having the whole Tanakh instead of just having the Torah with Rashi. You might see, especially Reform and Conservative, they put more of an emphasis on Tanakh than they would probably on Rashi's. Um, in an Orthodox household, you're probably going to have some sort of Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, some kind of abridged code of Jewish law, and then people will start having Mikraot Gedolot. So Mikraot Gedolot, that's when you're talking about all the various commentaries, large numbers of commentaries, right? So a lot of Jews have Mikraot Gedolot, and those are a lot of the best known commentaries on the Torah. So most people have a Mikraot Gedolot only on the Torah. Um, some people will have Mikraot Gedolot on the Torah and on Nach, Nevi'im, and Ketuvim, but that tends to be a larger set. And then people will have things like the Mishnah Berurah, which is, or Rambam, the Maimonides code of Jewish law, which is the Mishneh Torah, is also very common. A lot of people will have that. Maimonides, we've spoken about. And a lot of these books, which are considered basic, Chabad has online available to everyone. But so you can look those up, and then there are other commentaries, of course. When people know how to study the Talmud, not everybody knows how to study Talmud. It's certainly gotten a lot more common with the Steinsaltz and translation, and which is available completely online with Sefaria. And then there's the Art Scroll. Since the Art Scroll Talmud came out, a lot more people are studying Talmud, a lot more people, and those are really good explanations of that. But people generally usually only have individual um, individual masechtot tractates not the whole of the Talmud. It's kind of rare for people to have, especially because, well, I mean, I don't know how much the Steinsaltz is, but having the whole of the Art Scroll Talmud is really expensive. It gets, I think, in the thousands of dollars. Um, People you know, um, may have a Hebrew Talmud, but a lot of people don't know how to study that. themselves. They wouldn't be able to do it without somebody guiding them through it. Um, they may have Shulchan Aruch and other books like that. So these are the basic books, but obviously, as far as the written law, right? What we call Torah shebechtav, right? There's the oral law, which is Torah shebal peh, which would be the Mishnah. That's another thing. People may have Mishnah because that's the Mishnah is the easiest part of the oral law. It's the most basic part to learn. So people will have the Mishnah by itself, um, with its commentaries, or I mean, some people study the Mishnah with the Gemara, with the Talmud. The Talmud is a commentary on the Mishnah, right? And then there are commentaries on that. So the Jewish learning, I mean, there's a lot of commentaries on commentaries, right? So the basic text, right? The very most basic text is obviously the Torah, and then everything else can be kind of considered to be derivative of that. Even the rest of Nach, right? The Nevi'im and Ketuvim, to the point people study it, it's usually oftentimes related to the study of the Torah itself. And that's why the study of Judaism is generally called Talmud Torah. It's called the learning of the Torah because ultimately everything kind of boils down to the Torah. So hopefully this gave you a little bit of understanding of Judaism and the Parsha system and the liturgical calendar. What is read in the synagogue is obviously the Siddur, which is the prayer book. And I highly recommend, if you want to take a look at the prayer book, I believe Chabad has the entire prayer book, their version, because Chabad has a certain nusach of the Siddur. I think they have the Siddur online. I'm not sure though. Do they? I'm not sure. They might not have the Siddur itself online, but you can find it online. You can definitely find the Siddurs. You can find all the various Siddurs. I don't know if you can find them in English translation necessarily, but probably you can. And of course, Art Scroll has all the various Siddurim except the Chabad one. Well, they have a new. Well, I'm not going to get into all that. But you can get the Siddurim, you can get the prayer books, which are mostly selections, almost completely selections from parts of the Bible or rephrasings of the parts of the Bible, or and I mean a lot of whole quotes, a lot of Tehillim is included in there, but you can look at the prayer book to see what the synagogue service is like, but obviously the prayer service pretty much, certainly the morning prayer service, revolves around the Torah readings on the days that there are Torah readings, which is on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and on holidays. Um, yeah, I hopefully this gives you a little bit of, and you can read up on this stuff, if you want to, obviously on Wikipedia or on Chabad or other places. And if you have questions, I would love to entertain them. Please put them in the comments below, and I will answer them as best I can. But yeah, that's the Parsha system and the liturgical calendar. And you can actually get Hebrew calendars on, with Google and stuff. So that stuff's pretty clear. And you can look at the holidays and stuff. And so Chabad has a calendar, which a lot of people, I would say most people who use the Chabad website use it for the calendar, actually. You can take a look at the calendar. It has, they So you put it, in the week, it'll tell you what the readings are and the recommended daily studies, which is a Chabad thing, and you can take a look at that, right? And right, so obviously it's Parshat Zachor, which has a special reading. You can look all this stuff up. Parshat Zachor is the one that comes before Purim, which is going to be on Tuesday, the 10th. Obviously, I'm recording this on the 5th of March. So yeah, you can take a look at all this stuff if you would like, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. But there's a lot of explanation about all this stuff on and they have all these calculators too on Chabad. So it's a great website. Really love the website. They have so many things, so many tools, so many things here. I highly recommend it. Okay, let's get started on Lech Lecha. So Genesis 12, verse 1. Vayomer Havaya el Avram Lech Lecha מארצך וממולדתך ומבית אביך אל הארץ אשר אראך. One of the most famous lines of the Bible, certainly in Judaism, and like you see, right, Lech Lecha, that's the name of the Parsha because that's really the first part. I mean, I guess it could have been called Avram. But okay, let's start. Vayomer, we've had this construction so many times. The conjunctive vav, yud makes it imperfect. The root is aleph mem resh, to say. Havaya is the tetragrammaton, obviously. El is the preposition with the aleph. Avram, so we're still Abram, and not Abraham, because I think that'll change soon. Lech, so that's his name. Lech Lecha, right? So Lech is the imperative of Lelechet, right? I would say the root is Lamed Chaf He, and the He has absconded in the imperative in the command form. So Lech means go, right? It's the masculine singular form of go. Lechi would be go to a female, right? So to a man you would say lech, go, and to a female you would say lechi, and so lech lecha, and you can see the alliteration there, right? Keep on saying. It's important to remember that in the Hebrew, the Bible, it tends to be very melodious and have a singing aspect to it, right? So lech lecha. Lecha obviously is the prepositional lamed with the second person masculine singular, right? The chaf lecha, right? Lecha is to you or yours, and Rashi actually has something to say here. I think we'll take a look at it, even though this is not a Rashi class, obviously. But Lech Lecha, so literally, I mean, it doesn't really get translated, but it means go for yourself, right? Literally. Lech Lecha, get thee to thyself, right? Me'artzecha, so prepositional mem, eretz, meaning land, right? We've had that many times. And the chaf at the end, second person masculine singular, so from your land, right? U mimoladetecha, so that's the conjunctive vav. Molad, right, is again, I mean, we've talked about this particular root several times. what is that root? There is obviously a lamed and a daled in there, but what you do with the rest of that root is a right, like we talk about toldot, whether it's vav lamed daled, hey lamed daled, lamed daled hey, right? We've discussed this many times, and this is one of the similar ones which you're gonna put into that whole birth thing, right? Um, and it's written by milui. It's written with a vav, which is interesting. Molad, right? So molad means to be born, but they're translating it as your family. I think the Jewish way is usually your birthright or place of your birth, right? Moladetecha, right? Uh, mol- so moleda, right? That hay is getting turned into a tough, right? So moleda is, um, I guess, birthright. I think that's how I would translate it. You could use your concordance here, but the chaf at the end obviously makes it into the second masculine singular, and they're saying this is the feminine singular root molada, right? Moleda being turned into the construct form in order to add that suffix cha on it. So from your whatever that is, they're translating it here as family. I would translate it probably as birthright. U mi beit avicha. So again, conjunctive vav, um, the prepositional mem, and beit is a house. I'm a little surprised it's not bait avicha. No, bait avicha. Yeah, that's in the construct form. That makes sense. Yeah, mate me bait avicha, right? In the construct with of, right, with father, avicha being your father, right? Umi beit avicha, and from the house of your father. El is the preposition with the aleph. Haaretz, right? The article ha and aretz meaning land. Asher, the pronoun relative, that. Areka, right? So the root here, and they're saying it's in the imperfect hefil. I disagree with that. I'm thinking, let's see, Areka. I will show you. Areka is something that shows up several times. I mean, it's Are, I will show, is something that does show up a lot. Um, is it in the Hefil? Yeah, probably. That makes sense, although it doesn't look like it. I think this is because it's such a common verb. It has its own form. It's irregular. I mean, anybody who's studied languages knows that the most commonly used verbs are usually the most irregular. Obviously, to be tends to be the most irregular, but areka, I will show you that aleph here is in the imperfect, right? It's telling first person imperfect, right? So I will, right? That's what the aleph is there. The root is probably resh aleph hey, I would say, which means to see. And here, areka, I will show you, right? And the chaf at the end, it's taking a dagesh. That's fine, and that's because we're how it corresponds, right? I don't think it's anything special between arecha and areka. I will show you, um, but yeah, it does take a dagesh there, and honestly, it looks a little bit strange, but if you look at in your concordance, you will see that this is something that shows up a lot. I will show, right? So let's look at the King James. Let's see what King James. Oops, I'm sorry, I did not set this up correctly. There we go. King James. Now, I don't know where they got the now from. The Lord said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred. So they're translating Molatecha as kindred. And from thy father's house unto a land that I will show you, I guess. Show thee, right? NIV, the Lord had said, right? So Vayomer, right? So it's in the imperfect, and the Yud flips it, right, to being the perfected. So that's why they're saying the Lord had said to Abraham, go from your country, your people, right? They're translating Moladetecha, your people, people you're born into, that makes sense, and your father's household to the land I will show you. Yeah, that looks better. Let's look at what Chabad says. And the Lord said to Abram, go forth from your land and from your birthplace and from your father's house to the land I will show you. So Moladetecha they're translating as birthplace, right? So let's see what Rashi says, even though, right? Okay, go forth. Lech lecha, right? So Hebrew lech lecha, literally go to you, right? Go to yourself. Lech lecha. For your benefit and for your good, and there I will make you into a great nation. Da, 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 moreover, I will, right? So there, it's translating that lecha for yourself, which doesn't translate into the English very well, and that's part of why I think it's so important to study the Torah in the Hebrew itself, because honestly, I don't know how you would translate that lecha into the English in a way that's understandable. I was actually kind of hoping the NIV might put some sort of note here. That's the type of thing they sometimes do note. But lech lecha really, I mean, it's difficult to translate that, and obviously there is the Hebrew repetition going and alliteration going on there. So me'artzecha. So Rashi's asking, isn't it all already? Haven't they left? I'm not going to do all of the Rashis. El eretz haaretz asher areka. לא גלה לו הארץ מיד כדי and yeah, okay, we're not going to do all the Rashis. You can look at them here if you would like. Okay, verse 2. Ve'escha לגוי גדול ואברכך ואגדלה שמך Vehye bracha. So another, I mean, this is the second one which doesn't translate very easily, but we'll take it, and you'll see everything, right? So conjunctive vav again. The aleph is the first person imperfect, right? So the root here is aleph. Is ayin sin hey, which we've had many times, to make, right? One of the forms of to make, la'asot, right? One of the ways you can say to make. Ve'escha, right? I will make you. And the hey has kind of absconded there. The chaf is the second person masculine singular. Ve'escha, I will make you. And they're saying this is conjunctive, imperfect, cohortive, if contextual. Yeah, I mean, escha, I will make you. It's actually not as complicated as they seem to be making it. This contextually, we can say that the vav isn't actually flipping the imperfect to the perfect here. I agree with them translating this, and I will make you. The vav here is the conjunctive and not the flipping vav that flips the meaning of a um, verb from the perfect to the imperfect or from the imperfect to the perfect. Let goy, right? So prepositional lamed, goy is the singular of nation, right? And as usual, as always, pretty much, it's written ben milui with the vav. Gadol, right? Gadol here is the adjective meaning great. It comes from the root gimel daled lamed, which means to grow. And it is, as usual, written bemilui with the vav. So I shall make you to a great nation, right? A big nation. Ve'avarchecha. So conjunctive vav, the aleph again, first person of the is the first person of the imperfect, right? I will bless here. The root is uh, bet resh chaf, which means to bless, also is related to knees. We've discussed that before. Avachechecha, I will bless you, right? And they're saying it's in the PL here, which is the more intensive of the active, right? Mevarech. And Baruch, right? Between the kal and the PL, certain roots take the PL, some take the PAL, take the KAL, the simple one. Some are more intensive by their very nature, and usually you don't have. I can't even think of any roots offhand which take both forms. Um, yeah, I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure if I can think of any. I mean, if there are some, it's rare. Ve'agadlah, right? So conjunctive vav. The root again is like gadol, meaning gimel daled lamed, meaning to grow or make great. Agadla, I will make great. The hey here at the end is I want to say that it's. I think we've discussed it before. The hey. You know what? Let me pull up the constructor. Right. So the root is gadal, right? And we're it's in the PL, right? So agadel is in the future form agadel. The hey at the end, agadla, I guess maybe going off of the fact that Shem is masculine, might simply be a sometimes hays show up um, in the Bible in ways that just sound good. Maybe Rashi will explain. I'm not sure why agadel here becomes agadla. I shall I shall make great, but there is that hey there. So agadla, yeah, I think we've spoken about that before. Let me see what does the. No, I mean I'm just gonna leave it there. Okay. Va'agadla shemecha. So Shem means name. Shemecha, right? Second person masculine singular. Your name. I shall make great your name. Vehe Vehyeh, right? So again, conjunctive of hyeh shall be, um, call imperfect. They're saying, right? Vehyeh bracha, and it shall be. Uh, hmm. Yeah, I mean, the haya bracha is what I would have expected. Well, no, that would be the perfect. Um, the hye is the imperfect, they're saying. I can understand that, yes. Masculine singular. Okay. Bracha. Bracha means a blessing, and obviously it comes from the root bet resh chaf, um, meaning to bless, and bracha is a blessing. It is a female singular noun, and it's a noun that shows up in Judaism a lot. Does it show up in the Bible a lot? Yeah, it looks like it does. A bracha shows up 69 times, not as many times. I mean, the word bracha, I mean, it's also a female name, obviously, very common one in Hebrew, meaning blessing. Yeah, so them's the words. Let's look at King James, verse 2. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing, right? So the vehyeh, it's in the second person? Now I want to look at the constructor again. Let's see. Let's go back and so lihyot is hey, 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 right? And in the simple form, well, this is the constructor. It's not actually giving us the right. Let's look at the dictionary. Yeah, in the future, and the imperative. Hey, yeah. Yeah, I guess in the imperative. And you shall be. Did they say in the imperative here? The yeah, they said it's not the imperfect, it's in the imperative. Yes. Okay, I'm sorry. The and you shall be, well, not you shall be, and it shall be. Um, the is not in the second person, it's in the third person. Oh no. Yeah, it is second. It's in the imperative. It's in the imperative. It's the command. So it is you. The and be, right? Yeah, yeah. Seems right. And you shall be a blessing. The and you shall be a blessing. Okay. Um, and thou shalt be a blessing. Let's see what NIV says. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. Let's see what the note says. Or be seen as blessed. Vehiyeh, and you shall be bracha, and you shall be. I guess. No, I don't like that translation. I would stay with blessing, not you will be blessed. Um, let's see what Chabad does with it. And I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you, and I will aggrandize your name. Yeah. And you shall be a blessing. Yeah, I kind of like that better. Um, so Rashi says money. Okay, I'm not going to do all the Rashis, but and you shall bracha, and you shall be blessing. The blessings are until now they were in my hands because I blessed. Okay, you can read that if you want to. I don't think that's exactly something we have to go into. Okay, but it is there. Okay, verse 3, Va'avarcha mevarechecha umekalelcha or ונברכו בך כל משפחות האדמה. Often cited verse. Conjunctive vav. The aleph is in the is the first person imperfect, right? Again, the root is bet resh chaf, and there's that hey at the end again. Yeah, I think we've seen that before. Let's see, bracha bet resh. Sorry. In Nepal, it's avarech evroch. Well, that's not how it's usually done. Yeah, it's usually in the PL. Yeah, I should have done it in the PL. Let's look at it in the PL. Avarech, right? Yeah, that's how we usually see it. That hey at the end, I'm not quite sure about it. But okay. The avarcha, and I will bless with a hey. Mevarechecha. So he who blesses you. So this is the PL. That mem is the normal PL. Mevarech, right, to bless. The root is obviously the same. Bet resh chaf. Mevarechecha, people who bless you. Mevarechim would be people who bless in the masculine plural. Mevarechecha, right, people who bless you. Umekalelcha, and it's a little bit strange here because okay, so the root is obviously Qof lamed lamed, which means to curse, right? And it's the PL again, very similarly conjunctive vav, except this is in the singular. Mekalelcha, right? So somebody who blesses you, and him who blesses you. Those who bless you, mevarechecha is those who bless you. And this is actually something we see in Judaism a lot. What blessings and good things are oftentimes in the plural, while bad things are in the singular. Oftentimes, sometimes it's not that way, but here it's certainly that way. Those who bless you and him who curses you, right? Or, right? And this is they're saying the root is right, like arur, right? So aleph resh is the root here. Arur shows up a lot, especially because it's in certain litanies, right? We'll see it later. Arur 63 times, and I think a lot of them show up in the same. Because there are these litanies of curses. Okay, but another thing is it's a little bit strange that it's using different words for curse, right? These are different roots. Obviously, they mean similar things, but they are different roots. And or kind of would have expected a vav there, but it's not there. It's written b'chisaron. And the resh isn't showing up twice. That makes sense. You can use the constructor. I really love this website. In addition to having, constructing it based on the rules, it also has its dictionary, which is also very good. Okay, so you can use the constructor if you would like to play around with the roots aleph, resh, resh. I kind of would have expected that vav to be there, but it's not. Okay, venivrechu, so conjunctive vav. Nivrachu is in the nif'al, right? So that nun makes it into the passive, but it's the same blessing. It's the same root, bet resh chaf, and the vav at the end makes it into the third person common plural. They're putting or masculine plural, right? And shall be blessed, and are blessed. I would say, well, okay, so it's in the perfect, and contextually, you could say that the vav is flipping it, right? From the perfect to the imperfect, and shall be blessed. Becha, right? So that's the prepositional bet with so in, right, and shall be blessed in you, right? Becha, that's the second person masculine singular, and shall be blessed in you. Kol, meaning all. We've had that many times. Mishpachot, and that's families in the plural. It is written bechisaron. There's no vav there. Ha'adama. Well, it's in the construct form, mishpachot hadama. The article is on the second noun as usual. And this is actually the form of land that I usually translate as clay, adama, right? Because it comes from the word red or blood or Adam, right? And shall be blessed all in you all the families of the earth. Okay, King James, let's look at verse 3. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curseth thee, and in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. The only thing I don't like is that it makes it seem like the Hebrew uses the word curse twice, and it doesn't. It's a different type of curse. It is same translation, but it's two different words. So let's look at verse 3 in the NIV. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. And all peoples on earth shall be blessed through you. Peoples, mishpachot, they're turning into peoples. I'm not sure I like that. Let's look at what their note says. Or earth will use your name in blessings. See 48:20. Not sure why they did that. Okay, that's theirs. Will be blessed through you, becha, in you, through you, right? They're translating that bet, right? That prepositional bet, right? What exactly that becha means. Let's look at Chabad translation. And I will bless those who bless you, and the one who curses you, I will curse. So they're very clear about how mekalelcha is in the singular. And all the families of the earth shall be blessed in you. Okay. And Rashi says there are many agadot. You can look at the Rashis if you would like. We will keep on going. Verse 4. Vayelech Avram ka'asher diber alav havaya vayelech ito lot va'ad Avram ben chamesh shanim v'shiv'im shana betzeito mecharan. Okay. A little bit strange, but let's see. So conjunctive vav, the yud puts it in the imperfect, but the vav is flipping it. The root is the same, lamed chaf hey, right? The hey has absconded, but Hakadosh Baruch Hu says lech lecha, and Avram yelech, and he went. Right? God says go, he went. Avram is obviously his name. Ka'asher, so there's the prepositional chaf, as, and asher is the pronoun relative, obviously. It's kind of a double as there, however you want to do that, but right. You can debear. So I'm a little bit. So this is obviously the verb pl. The root is daled bet resh. I'm a little bit surprised that it is switching from vayomer, right? In verse 1, we used aleph mem resh, which I've said is a little bit of a softer way of speaking. It's being turned into diber, and a devar is, we say, a harsh way of speaking. Okay? Diber elav. So it's the preposition el with the aleph, right? Elav means onto him, right? Third person masculine singular. Havaya, that is the tetragrammaton, obviously. Vayelech, so again, exact same as to depart we had, and went. Ito, so the direct object marker is being used as a preposition with him, right? Ito, the vav at the end turns it into a third person masculine singular. Lot, um, is the name Lot in English. Lot. Avram. So conjunctive vav, again, Avram is his name. The was is implied. Ben Chamesh. So like we said, we will say that somebody who is so many years, we've had this so many times, is the son of that many years, right? So Ben Chamesh, son of 5. Shanim, years in the plural. Veshiv'im shana, right? So conjunctive of shiva. Sheva means 7. Shiv'im means 70 years, and this is in the singular. This is a common construction, right? Shanim, chamesh shanim veshivim shana, right? We've had this many times. If somebody wants to pay attention to it, you can do that. Bet seito, right? So prepositional bet, the root word here is tzaddik aleph hey, right? To go out. Actually, maybe the root actually is hey tzaddik. They're saying yud tzaddik aleph. Yeah, that makes sense. Yetzia letzet. Uh, um, I would I'm used to it being tzaddik aleph hey, but tzeito, his going out, they're saying it's in the infinitive. Bet tzeito, in his leaving, right? Me Haran, prepositional mem, and Haran is a place which we've discussed before. Let's look at King James. So Abram departed as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. Okay, verse 4. So Abram went as the Lord had told him, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he set out from Haran. Okay. Chabad, and Abram went as the Lord had spoken to him, and Lot went with him, and Abram was 75 years old when he left Haran. Okay. Very similar translations, nothing spectacular. Vayikach Avram et Sarai ishto ve'et Lot ben Achiv ve'et kol rechusham asher rachashu ve'et hanefesh asher asu becharan ve'yetz'u lalechet arza Canaan Vayavohu arza Kenan, right? And so this is another verse that's very famous. This parsha, I mean, so you get this a lot. The first few, the luckiest verses of the parsha are always the first ones because lazy people always make their I don't want to be mean, but I'm sure all of you have also seen that like pe- people will start on reading a part of the Bible and they'll make their drashas, they'll make their commentaries on those few ones, and then they won't go all the way to the end. I think I've probably done it more than once myself. I apologize for that. But so Va'yikach. So conjunctive of Yud turns it into the imperfect, but here it's being flipped. And the root, we've spoken of kachat before. Kof het hey, I would say. Avram is to take, right? It is to take. Avram is his name. Et is the direct object marker. Sarai is her name still. Hasn't changed. Ishto, his wife, right? Isha means woman. You, or wife. Ishto means his woman or his wife, right? The hey turns into a taf, and the vav it turns as third person masculine singular. Ve'et, so conjunctive vav, the direct object marker. Lot is his name. Ben Achiv. So this is a little bit strange. Rashi will probably explain it. The son of his brother, his nephew. Yeah, no, that's right. I don't know what I was thinking. Ben means son. It is in the contract form with Achiv, his brother. Obviously meaning brother. Achiv meaning his brother. Ve'et, so conjunctive of direct object marker. Kol meaning all. Rechusham. So the root here is resh chaf shin, which means which means treasure. I guess would be how I would translate it. Of course, you can look at the concordance there, but rechusham, their treasure, right? The mem there is third person masculine plural, theirs, right? And rechush is, I mean, like ketuv, right? Something that is written, something that is treasured or gathered, right? Possessions. We'll see in the next. Rechusham asher rachashu, right? So again, you have that alliteration and that repetition. They're possessions that they had gathered, right? Rechusham are things which were gathered. Asher is the pronoun relative. Rachashu is the perfect of that verb to gather or to. Rechush. I mean, I use the word treasure because it means to. I don't know if earn is the right. Accumulate, maybe. You know, what you know, kind of like a treasury. You know. Anyway, you can look at the concordance and decide how you want to translate that. Rachashu, which they had gathered, they're translating, which isn't bad. The et, so conjunctive of again, et is the direct object marker. Ha nefesh, right? And you will notice that it's being translated as people, which it can be, but literally, nefesh is one of the ways we say soul, right? Nun, pe, shin. The hey is obviously the article. The people, well, it's actually in the singular. So the soul, but um, the construction. I mean, in English, this is constructed in the plural. In the Hebrew, it makes more sense to be in the singular. Asher, again, pronoun relative. Asu. So the people they had acquired, they're saying. The root here is ayin sad sin he, to make, right? So they're translating the people whom they had acquired, Becharan. Asu is the perfect of la'asot, to make. The vav at the end makes it into a third person common plural or masculine plural. The hey absconds, which happens a lot with a root that has a third letter that is hey. So they're translating the people whom they had acquired, but literally it's the souls that they had made, and I think Rashi will explain that too, in Bacharan. So prepositional bet, Haran is the place. Veyetzu, so conjunctive vav, again, let's say it. So this is a different, so the two roots we're using here is lechet, right, to walk, to go, and letseit, to leave, to go out of, right? Um, so I mean, if however you're going to keep that separate, lechet isn't necessarily to depart. It means simply to walk, whereas tzeit has a going out of, right? So halacha, right? You can walk along something, but let's say you only can leave. And they yetzu, so and they departed, right? The vav at the end makes it a third person masculine plural. Lalechet is the infinitive of to go, like we spoke about, like the root I think is the lamed chaf hey. So it's switching between tzeit and lechet. Lalechet is the root, is the infinitive of the verb which started this whole parsha, lech lecha, right? Lalechet. So, however you want to translate between going and departing, I guess lalechet, to call lalechet going and to call letzet to depart makes sense. Yeah, lalechet, to go, and that is the infinitive form of it with the lamed at the beginning. Artsa. So that hey at the end, their morphology here is wrong. It's a directional hey. So when you want to say towards something, like you want to say I'm going home. Ani holech babait labaita. I'm going towards home, right? Or you know, smola. I'm going towards the left, or yamina, towards the right. So that hey is the directional hey at the end of eretz, which is land there. Kenan is obviously a proper name. Vayovou, so conjunctive vav, yavou, consecutive imperfect, they're calling it here, of the kal. So the root is a bet aleph hey, to go, right? Vayovou, and they came and they went, I would say. It doesn't. It's written bechisaron. It's written without a vav there. Vayovo, which isn't so rare, but vayovo, and they came. I would actually say, and they went. Vayovo artsa, again, artsa, as we had before, is that hay is the directional hay, artsa, towards the land of Canaan. Let's look at the translations. Verse 5, King James, and Abram took Sarai his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls that they had gotten in Haran, and they went forth to go into the land of Canaan, and into the land of Canaan they came. Yeah, I guess if you're saying that contextually that vav is flipping the yavo from the imperfect to the perfect, that makes sense. Yes, I would do that. Let's see what NIV does with it. He took his wife Sarai, his nephew Lot, all the possessions they had accumulated, and the people they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan, and they arrived there. I'm usually much more literal. The Hebrew doesn't say there, and it says and into the land. Or so I'm tempted to go with the King James. Let's see what Chabad does with it. And Abram took Sarai his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their possessions that they had acquired, and the souls they had acquired. So they're also translating that asu, the souls that they made, into the souls that they had acquired in Haran. And they went to go to the land of Canaan, and they came to the land of Canaan. Yeah, that's usually. But let's read the Rashis. I think this is a very interesting Rashi. So Asher Asu Becharan, right? Rashi's going on, and they made, right? How does that mean? Whom he had brought under the wings of the Shekhinah, of the Holy Spirit, because they made these souls, right? They made them into souls. They made these people, and by acquiring, we mean they converted. I probably would have translated this the souls that they converted in Haran, like Rashi's saying. Abraham would convert the men, and Sarah would convert the women, and Scripture ascribes to them a merit as if they had made them. This is from the Genesis Rabbah, hence the expression Asher Asu, literally they made. The simple meaning of the verse is, however, the slaves and maidservants that they had acquired for themselves, as in the verse. So in verse 31 in Genesis, he acquired all this wealth. And in Numbers and Israel, Israel Oseh, acquires, an expression of acquiring, gathering. So that's the simple way based on those other verses, which I guess that's how they're translating it. It seems to imply to me more than that. I would probably have translated that acquired as converted. Okay, let's keep on going. Verse 6. Vayavor Avram ba'aretz ad mekom Shem ad Elon Moreh ve'hakenani az ba'aretz. Okay. So conjunctive vav, the yud tells you that it's in the imperfect, but obviously this is being flipped in context. The root is ayin bet resh, which is actually the root of the word Hebrew, right? Ivri, which means to pass or to pass, yeah, to go across, right? Vaya'avor, and he passed, right? Written bechisaron, without a vav, which isn't so surprising, but It's without a vav there. Avram is still his name, hasn't changed yet. Ba'aretz, so that's a prepositional bet with the article because of the patach underneath. I'm sorry, that's a comma underneath. Aretz is obviously land. Ad means onto, it's a preposition, until, to, right? Ad mekom, it means place, written and it's in the construct form, right? Makom is a place, mekom is the construct form of makom. And it's written bemilui, it's written with a vav, which is normal, it usually is. Mekom Shechem, the place of Shechem. Shechem is obviously the name of a city, but this is in the construct form, the place of Shechem, right? Ad, again, the same preposition. They're doing as far as. Elon is a tree. And this is in the construct form. Elon More, the the tree of More. I don't know where they got terebinth from. I have no idea what kind of tree is terebinth is, or why they're assuming that is the terebinth tree. Yeah, I guess that's how they're doing it. Or oak. You can look at your concordance there, but either the tree of More or the name is Elon More, right? You can possibly say that this is one name, Elon written with a vav, as is More. More also means to show, right? But here it's obviously a noun being used as a name. But actually, Moreh is from the same root as Torah, right? The to show, to guide, Moreh. Okay. To guide more than to show. Vehakenani. So this is conjunctive of, the hey is the article, and Kenani means the Canaanite, right? It seems a little bit strange that this is in the singular, but in the Hebrew, that's how you would usually do it. The Canaanites, right? You wouldn't necessarily say the Hakenanim, you would say Hakenani, and the nation, the Canaanite nation, Az Ba'aretz. So Az, there, it's okay. At that time, yeah, but it actually, I would. So Az means then, but Oz means with Aleph. Well, Oz. I'm just thinking this is, and the Canaanites were great in the land, were strong in the land, but Oz, I guess, is with an ayin. That was then at that time Ba'aretz. So again, prepositional bet with the article, Aretz meaning land. Was at that time at the land? We'll see if Rashi says anything. But verse 6 in King James, and Abram passed through the land onto the place of Sichem, they're trying to say, onto the plain of Moreh. So they're translating Ilan, which literally means a tree, to plain, which isn't, I don't necessarily disagree. And the Canaanite was then in the land. Okay, let's look at NIV. Abram traveled through the land as far as the site of the great tree of Moreh. I guess they're translating Ilan as great tree of Moreh at Shechem. At the time, the Canaanites were in the land. Okay. Let's look at Chabad. And Abram passed through the land until the place of Shechem, until the plain of Moreh. So there again, they're also translating Elon to plain. And the Canaanites were then in the land. Let's see what Rashi says. I'm interested. נכנס לתוכו להתפלל עד מקום כל כשיבואו להילחם בשכם אלון מורה. The place who Shechem harahu har grizim so shavuot. I mean, these are midrashic Canaanites were in the land. And yeah, I mean he's not saying anything necessarily that's important in the translation. I don't want to get into every Rashi's because we'll take forever and not sure everybody cares. Vayera Havaya El Avram Vayomer Lezaracha eten et haaretz hazot Vayiven sham mizbeach lahavaya hanir'e elav. Okay, interesting. Vayera, so conjunctive vav, yera here, it's in the imperfect, but this is in the imperfect of the nif'al, of the passive, right? So vayera means and appeared, right? And became seen and was seen. Appeared is right. Havaya obviously is the tetragrammaton. El is the preposition with the aleph. Avram is his name. Vayomer, so again, conjunctive of the yud tells you it's an imperfect. And this is Amar, aleph mem resh, the softer way of saying. There is no vav there, not incredibly, I mean, it's bechizaron, but not strangely that lezaracha. So prepositional lamed zera we've had before is seed, here translating as descendants. Lezaracha, to your seed or your descendants. Eten, right? So this is latet. It's an irregular verb to put or to set or to give, right? Eten is a very common one. The aleph is the first person collective singular or first person singular of to give. Eten, I will give, and this is a verb that shows up many times. Eten, et is the direct object marker. Haaretz, land, with the article the land. Hazot. So haaretz hazot, this land is, it's a common way of saying it. Usually both of them take the article. Zot is written without a vav, as it usually is, pretty much, I think. I will eten haaretz hazot. I shall give this specific land, right? Vayiven. So conjunctive vav, yud puts it in the imperfect. The root, I would say, is bet nun hey. No, to build. Bet livnot. Yeah, bet nun hey. Is that what they're saying? Yeah, they're also saying bet nun hey, livnot, right? Vayiven, and built. The hey absconds, which is normal. This is in the third person masculine, and he built. Vayiven. Sham means there. Mizbeach. So the root is zain bet het, not chaf, het. Mizbeach is an altar, comes from the root zevach, means to butcher, to slaughter, right? Mizbeach, right? An altar. Butcher, not so much slaughter. Lahavaya. So prepositional lamed havaya obviously is the tetragrammaton. Ha near e, right? So this is okay. So it's an article at on a participle who had appeared, that had appeared. Near a, obviously the nun is part of the nifal. We're making it in the passive, and the root is resh aleph hey, like we said, right? So vayera is in the past tense. Near a is in the present, right? That's why they call it participle. Hanire, that appeared alav. So it's the preposition with the aleph and the yud and the vav at the end. Is the third person masculine singular to him, right? So he made there an altar to God who had appeared to him. Let's see. King James, and the Lord appeared unto Abram and said, unto thy seed will I give this land, and there builded he an altar unto the Lord who appeared unto him. Yeah, pretty much. NIV, the Lord appeared to Abram and said, to your offspring I will give this land. So he built an altar there to the Lord who had appeared to him. So, I'm not sure where they got that so from, but let's look at their notes. Seed, or seed, right? Descendant or seed. Yeah, that makes sense. Or offspring or seed. Yeah. I'm not sure where they got this so from. But that is, let's see. And the Lord appeared to Abram, and he said, to your seed I will give this land. And there he built an altar to the Lord who had appeared to him. And one thing I like about Chabad is they do the right capitalizations, right? So that who is referring to the Lord and should be capitalized. And King James doesn't do it. And NIV doesn't do it. Come on, guys. Up your game. Okay. And there he built an altar in Thanksgiving because of this. Okay. That's the Rashi if you want to see it. Verse 8. Vayatek misham hahara mikedem levet el Beyet Ohalo Beit El Miyam V'ha'ai Mikedem V'yiven Sham Mizbeach Lahavaya V'yikra B'Shem Havaya. Okay, yeah, these are names. Yeah, that's that. I was wondering why it wasn't translated, and then I recognized. Yeah, there's bunch of names in here. Okay, so conjunctive vav, the yud obviously puts it into the imperfect. They're saying it's in the heave ill. I'm not so sure about that. The root here is ayin taf qof, which is, I'm not even sure if tak is to move, proceed, advance. Yeah. Actually, 9 times is more than I expected. I don't know that I agree with them saying that it's in the hefil. I don't see why they're saying it's in the hefil in the causative. Here, let's use my favorite constructor. Let's look at a talk. So talk, right? And they're saying it's in the he field. I'm not. I don't like that. Let's. So they're saying it's in the he field, consecutive imperfect by ya'atek. Let's look at the constructor. Ya'atek. Ya'atek. Ya'atik. There would be a yud there. I'm not sure. Oh, they're saying imperative. No, but that's ha'atek. Eh, I'm not liking this. Let's just look at it in a normal hall. Yatok. Yeah, it's. I still prefer yatok. Maybe it's an appeal. Yeah, yatek. There it is. So I don't know why they're saying it's in the hefil. Seems to me that it's in the imperfect quite clearly. I don't know why they're saying it's in the hefil. I'm going to have to disagree with them. I mean, the constructor shows it in the exact same way. Vayatek. Exact same. Yeah. Yatek. Yeah. I'm not sure why they're doing it that way, but okay, whatever. Vayatek, and he moved. Okay. Me, Sham, so prepositional mem, Sham obviously there. Hahara. Okay, so this is a little bit confusing, but when we split it apart, I hope it shouldn't be a problem. So the first hey is the article, har means mountain, and the last hey is the directional hey. So hahara means towards the mountain. Okay? A little bit confusing, but pretty simple. Mi kedem. So he moved from there towards the mountain. Mi kedem. So prepositional mem from kedem meaning either east or front of. Let Beit El. So Beit El, Bethel, they're translating, is a common name in, of a place in, literally means the house of God, right? Bethel, right? But it's also the name of a thing. And actually, most people would probably say Beit Kel nowadays, but it was. It's used so often. Beit Kel, Beit El. Um, don't know what to tell you. People who are very strict on the names of God and not using them in vain will use Beit Kel, right? Bethel, right? To Beitel, wherever that is. Vayet. So conjunctive of this is the root is nun taf tet hey, which has two gutturals, and that's why it's so strange. It does show up a bunch of times in the Bible, so we do know that's what it is, 213 occurrences. Yet to pitch a tent, yeah, or to outstretch to. Let's see what they're translating here. To stretch out, to spread out, extend, incline, to bend. I want to say it also can mean to sow. But yeah, ohel, yeah, to it's used with ohel many times, right? You'll see over and over again in the Bible. So, and he, yeah, to build it. Vayet ohalo is a common thing. Ohel obviously is a tent. Ohalo is his tent. Um, there's without the vav and with a hey at the end. Maybe Rashi will explain that. I almost want to say that hey is a directional hey, but veyet ohalo. That's strange that hey at the end. Ohalo, his tent. Um, without the without the vocalizations, I would have actually probably read it Ohala, her tent. We'll see what Rashi says. Beit El, right? And he built his tent. He pitched his tent in Beit El. Miyam. So this is actually literally from the sea, but they're saying from the west. So it's the prepositional mem, and yam is actually the sea, right? But here it makes sense. I mean, I understand why they say from on the west, but I would probably say um, from the coast, right? And you can try looking up Beitel where exactly that is. Although I think there's more than one place with that name. Miyam v'ha'ai, right? So and conjunctive hey is the article. I is I want to say it's a river, but it might be a well. I want to say there's a river I. Is it? Oh no, it's a Canaanite city. Yeah, it shows up in Joshua a bunch of times. That's what I remembered from. Yeah, it shows up a lot in Joshua. 39 times total, and it looks like all but two of them are are from the book of Joshua. Okay, so that's the name. V'ha'ai, and the city I, right? Mi kedem, so prepositional mem, kedem again, either east or forward. Vayiven, so conjunctive of yud turns it into the imperfect. The root is bet nun hey, to build, and it's getting flipped contextually. Sham meaning there. Mizbeach, again, altar we've discussed. La Havaya, so prepositional lamed and the tetragrammaton. Vayikra. We've had this construction many times of a conjunctive vav. Yud puts it in imperfect, and it's getting flipped because the vav is flipping contextually, and the root is qofresh aleph, which means to call. Be Shem, so preposition without the article, Shem meaning name, Havaya, and he called in the name of Hashem, right? In the name of God. King James, verse 8, and he removed from thence onto a mountain on the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, having Bethel on the west, and the eye on the east. And there he builded an altar unto the Lord, and called upon the name of the Lord. Okay. NIV. From there he went on toward the hills east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. There he built an altar to the Lord, and called on the name of the Lord. Right? So, yeah. Vayatek Misham, and he went from there towards the mountain, Mikedem, east, Mikedem LaBeit El, to the east of Beit El, Vayet Ohalo Beit El Miyam, and he pitched his tent, Beit El Miyam, on the coast side, on the west, they're saying, V'ha'ai Mikedem, and I from the forward, right? So, yeah, I guess I is on the east, and the sea, Bethel is towards the sea, coastal. Vayiven Sham, right? Okay, let's see what Chabad does. And he moved from there to the mountain east of Bethel, and he pitched his tent. Bethel was to the west, and Ai was to the east, and there he built an altar to the Lord, and he called the name in the name of the Lord. Vayatek misham. So Rashi is translating that ataka, right? That root ayin taf kof as a as moving something, and that's why he's explaining that it's talking about the ohel. It's talking about his. Uh, um, yeah, I think ataka is moving something. Yeah. Okay. East of Mikedem, Hebrew, from the east of the Bethel was to his west. This is what the Torah means by what. Okay. Um, Mikedem, Ohalo. Aha. See? Rashi to the rescue. Ohala Kativ. So it's written with a hey, right? Ohalo, right? It's written with a hey. So if the vocalization wasn't there, I would say her tent, right? So that's what Rashi is talking about. According to Mazur, it is written Ohala, right? Which can be read Ohala, her tent. First, he pitched his wife's tent, and afterwards his own. I love Rashi. This is obviously from the Genesis Rabbah, but he's explaining why we read it his tent, even though it looks like it's her tent. You can do that. You can do with that what you would like. Vayiven sham mizbeach nidna ba shatid lo b'nei shel sham. Okay, so that's a bit of a Gazetha you can look at if you like. Okay, verse 9. Vayis'a Avram haloch v'nasoa hanegba. Interesting. Okay, so conjunctive vav, the yud is in the imperfect. Nesia, I guess the root is nun sin ayin. Yeah, that makes sense. That's what I thought. The nun has absconded at the beginning. That happens, especially with a yud before it. Means to journey to it shows up a bunch of times in the Bible. You can look at all the times. Let's see, how many times is that? 146 occurrences in the Bible. Avram is obviously his name. Haloch, right? So this is, they're saying infinitive absolute. So this is the root. I actually think the root is lamed chaf hey, right? We were saying lech lecha, right? Haloch yalech uvacho. It's haloch. It's in this way it shows up. Haloch means to go, right? I guess call infinitive absolute. However they say it. It is written bemilui. It's written with above, which is, I would expect that. Venasoa. So again, conjunctive of, and in the same construction, but this is nun samech ayin, and that nun is part of the root. It's not in the nifal. Okay, haloch v'nasoa. I would say back and forth, right? They're saying going and still. I would say back and forth. That's how I usually ha-negba, and towards the negev, right? So ha being the article, the hey at the end being the hey directional. Negev is a desert in Israel. Negev. The Negev, and you can look up the word Negev, Ha-Negba, towards the Negev. which is towards the south of the. So sometimes Negba is translated south, south, yeah. And there's a petucha. Um, there is an open space in. So that's what that pay there. That punctuation tells you there's a petucha in the scroll. There's an open space in the scroll. Okay. Verse 9, and Abram journeyed, going on still toward the south. So they're translating Negba towards the south, which, like I said, is often done. Going on still. So they're saying Haloch v'nasoa, still towards, going on still towards, right? Okay. NIV. Then Abram set out and continued toward the Negev. Okay. South or Negev, either one. Chabad and Abram traveled, continually traveling southward. Haloch v'nasoa hanegba. Yeah, yeah. Let's see what Rashi says. Haloch v'nasoa leprakim. Going in pieces, going and traveling, right? He traveled in intervals, staying here for a month or more, traveling from there and pitching his tent elsewhere. And all his travels were southward, Haloch v'nasoa, back and forth, still towards the south, right? All his travels were southward to go to the south of the land of Israel, and this is to the direction of Jerusalem. The meaning is that Jerusalem was in the middle of the world and the end of the land of Israel, so it is to explained in Isaiah, which is in the prayer of Judah, who took his portion in the south of it to Mount Moriah. Note that the pair appear in several editions of Rashi, but its connection to the verse is obscure because the location of Jerusalem is in the middle of the world is irrelevant. Okay, so that's a thing on Rashi, but so he's translating Haloch v'nasoa lepraki, right? In bits, right? With intervals. I guess I mean I still like back and forth, but that's where the continuation comes from. Okay. Okay, let's keep on going. Verse 10. Vayehi ra'av ba'aretz, vayered Avram mitzrayma legur sham, ki chaved harav ba'aretz. And this is actually a verse that shows up in the Haggadah, in the Passover Haggadah, which we will be reading in a month or so. So conjunctive of the yud is in the imperfect. This is to be, right? And there was, because the imperfect is being flipped by the vav contextually. Ra'av, the root resh ayin bet means to starve. So ra'av is a famine, right? Ba'aretz, so prepositional bet with the article, aretz meaning land. Vayered, so conjunctive vav. The root is resh dalet hey, to go down. Vayered means the yud puts it in imperfect and it gets flipped to the perfect, to the completed with the vav, and the hey absconds and went down Avram Mitzrayma, right? So Mitzrayim means Egypt, and the hey is the directional hey towards Mitzrayim, right? And I mean, the word Egypt itself is probably something that I might actually spend some time explaining because it has, it actually means the strait, the narrow place. I might have even discussed it before. Lagur is the imperative of to live or to dwell. They're saying it is a dwelling, to the point where when we talk about a ger, legayer means to convert. A ger is somebody who's not a native, so a convert or somebody who comes to live in the land, right? Lagur sham. And the Haggadah actually talks a lot about lagur sham, to live there, right? To dwell there, not permanently. Sham, obviously there. Ki, usually translate that as because or for. Ki chaved. So the root here is chaf bet daled, which can mean to respect and can mean heavy. I oftentimes use the word gravity with chaved because it kind of has both, right? Gravity means respect as well as heaviness, but here it's obviously saying that the ra'ab, the famine, was severe. Chaved haaretz, and the or oppressive, maybe I would say, or grave. The famine, harab, with the article rab, obviously we had before. The famine was strong on ba'aretz, prepositional bet, with the article aretz, obviously land. Okay, King James. And there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in the land. Okay. NIV. Now there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down to Egypt to live there for a while. So they're translating lagur is live there for a while. Lagur sham. Because the famine was severe. Okay? Verse 10, Chabad, and there was a famine in the land, and Abram descended, so Vayered, they're translating literally, descended to Egypt to sojourn there, right? Lagur sham, and this is people who remember this from the Haggadah. Sojourn is usually how lagur sham is done in the Haggadah, which of course very few people know what the word sojourn means there, because the famine was severe in the land. Ra'av ba'aretz ba'otel aretz lavada. So Rashi says that this hara'av ba'aretz, in the land, means it was only in Israel, right? It wasn't in Egypt, and there's a bit of a Haggadah there, which you can read if you like. I highly recommend Rashi. I like Rashi, obviously. Vayehi ka'asher hikriv lavo mitzrayma, vayomer el Sarai ishto, hine na yadati ki isha yafat mar'at. Okay, so this actually, it's funny. So few people remember. I don't know why people forget this episode so much, but for some reason, a lot of people just don't know this episode in the Bible, which you would think. I mean, it's Abraham and Sarah, and it doesn't reflect that greatly on Abraham, but this was before he was Abram. This was when he was still Abram. He wasn't as great as he could have been. Okay. Vayehi. So conjunctive of Yehi, and came to pass, right? Ka'asher, prepositional chaf with the pronoun relative. Hikriv. So the root is chof resh bet, which means to be close. Hikriv is in the hifal, to bring close. The one thing is, this root is usually used to offer up a korban, a sacrifice, right? So if I were seeing it in by itself, I would usually translate hikriv as he sacrificed, right? But here it's obviously hikriv lavo. He came close to coming, right? Lavo being the infinitive of to come, to go actually. Bet vav aleph or bet aleph hey. No, bet vav aleph is the words. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Lab O, and it is the milui. It's written completely, which is normal. Oh, kind of. Bo oftentimes doesn't have the vav written. Okay. Lavo Mitzrayma. So he got close. It's funny that he created. I would have expected a karaf, right? He came close, but he created means that maybe Rashi will explain this, but usually he created means to sacrifice to bring close. Okay. Hikriv lavo Mitzrayma, right? The hey at the end is obviously the directional hey. Mitzrayim is Egypt. Vayomer, so conjunctive vav, yod in the imperfect, but it's being flipped contextually. Amar is to say softly. And he said, El is the preposition with the aleph. Sarai is her name. Ishto, his wife. Isha, the hey turns into a taf. Hine, right? So hine is usually behold, right? Hine. So hine na. Interesting. So na means please. Na is usually used as a thing of asking, right? I don't know why they're saying now. Usually it's please. I pray now. Interjection. I pray or now. Yeah, I think it's usually. Yeah, it's a. I usually do please. I don't know why it's so now. But hine na yadati. I guess. Okay. The yadati, the root is dalid ayin hey, which is to know, right? Which we've had many times before and sometimes used euphemistically. Yadati means I knew, but I mean it doesn't make sense that while you're speaking to somebody, yadati. Well, you would usually say ani yodea, I know, but yadati, I knew, but here it's I knew is actually what he said, right? Yadati puts it in the perfect, in the past tense of the first person common singular, right? Yadati, I knew, right? Ki, that or because. Isha, all right, woman. Yafat mar'eh, right? So yafa means pretty, and this is in the construct form. Yafat mar, so pretty of countenance, to see, right? Mar'eh is from resh resh aleph hey, to see. Mar'eh is to show, right? Ani mar'eh, right, to show, but here countenance. Yafat mar'eh means beautiful of appearance. I would translate this appearance. They're saying countenance. Yafat mar'eh, beautiful of appearance. At is the second person feminine singular pronoun. You in the feminine singular. Yeah, right? I know you're beautiful, right? Let's look at verse 11 in the King James. And it came to pass when he has come near to enter into Egypt, that he said unto Sarai his wife, Behold now, I know that thou art a fair woman to look upon. Yeah, mar'eh, to look upon is fine. But fair to look upon, I mean, that's one construct, that's one smichut in the Hebrew. let's see how NIV does it. As he was about to enter Egypt, he said to his wife Sarai, "I know what a beautiful woman you are." Yeah, yeah, I could see that. Let's see what Chabad does with it. Now it came to pass when he um, drew near to come to Egypt, that he said to Sarai his wife, "Behold, now I know that you are a woman of fair appearance." Yeah, I prefer that. Let's see what Rashi says. Hine na yedati. The Midrash Agada states that until now he did not recognize her beauty because of the modesty of both of them, but now he recognized her beauty through an incident. Another explanation, it is customary that through the hardship of travel, a person becomes unattractive, but she remained with her beauty. The simple meaning of the verse is, "Behold, now the time has arrived when we must be concerned about your beauty. I have known already for a long time," right? So, yadati, I knew for a long time that you are of fair appearance, but now, hinena, now, right? We are coming among Kushim. You might want to read that inside yourself. Rashi's not being the most. He's being a bit spicy there. Okay. You have to realize that in most of the world and for a very long time, the fairer someone was versus the darker, the more they were considered beautiful. Obviously, there's Song of Songs and everything like that, but there is the concept of the fair beauty, right? And that's what Rashi is talking about. Okay. והיה כי יראו אותך המצרים ואמרו אשתו זאת והרגו אותי ואותך יחיו. Okay. So conjunctive of haya means was, but this is being flipped into the imperfect, into the not perfected from the perfected, right? Not completed to the incomplete to the complete. So therefore, it will come to pass. Ki, they're translating as when. So if sometimes ki is best translated as if. Yiru, right? It's an imperfect of resh aleph hey to see. Yiru, they see, right? Otach, this is the direct object marker in the second person feminine singular. See you, right? Ha Mitzrim, the Egyptians, with that article. The Amru, so conjunctive vav, the root is aleph mem resh to say, Amru, and they shall say, right? So it's in the perfect, but it's being flipped by the vav. Ishto zot, right? Isha means wife, ishto means his wife, zot, this is, right? So this is the pronoun being, it's the feminine pronoun, obviously, being used in order to imply the verb to be in the present sense. Vehargu, so conjunctive vav, hereg, the root is he resh gimel, which means to kill, not murder, right? So in the Hebrew, there's a difference between kill and murder. This is the verb to kill. The hargu, and they shall kill, right? Because the vav is flipping the from the complete to the incomplete, from the perfect to the imperfect. Oti is the direct object marker in the first person common singular, so me. Ve'otach, So conjunctive vav, direct object marker with the second person feminine singular, right? Otach, but you, yichayu, right? So this is the imperfect of lahachayot, right? To make, to live. Lachayot, yeah, this is in the PL. Mechayeh, right? This is the PL of Chet Yud Hey, to live, right? Okay. And they shall let you live. They shall cause you to live. Keep you alive, actually, probably would be the best way of putting it. Okay. King James, verse 12. Therefore it shall come to pass when the Egyptians shall see thee, they shall say, this is his wife, and they will kill me, but they will save thee alive. Okay. Um, verse 12. When the Egyptians see you, they will say, this is his wife. Then they will kill me, but let you live. I would actually translate that, but keep you alive. Let's see what Rashi says. Salat says, and it will come to pass when the Egyptians see you, they will say, this is his wife, and they will slay me and let you live. Okay. Verse 13. Imri na achoti at lema'an yitav li ba'avurech v'chayta nafshi begilalech. Okay. So, Imri is in the imperative, feminine singular imperative. So this is the command form in the feminine, right? Imri, say, right? Na means please, like we said before. Achoti, achot means sister. Achoti means my sister. This is written without a vav. Bechisaron. At is the second person feminine singular. You, right? Achoti at. So actually the pronoun is kind of being used as a substitute for the verb to be. Lama'an, right? So this is a conjunction meaning because, for. Lama'an. Yitav, the root here is, they're saying yud tet bet. Actually, I would say hey tet bet. No, they're saying yud tet bet. Obviously, the root includes tet and bet, which is good, right? I would actually maybe possibly even say that it's tet vav bet, right? But yitav shall be, so that it may be well. Yeah, yitavli, so it should be good for me. In the imperfect, yitavli shall be good. So this is the prepositional lamed in the first person common singular. Yitavli, so it shall be good for me. Be'avurech. So conjunctive vav, not conjunctive, prepositional bet, sorry. The root is ayin bet resh, like we mentioned, is the root of Hebrew. It means to cross, but here it means for your sake, right? Ba'avurech is the second person feminine singular, for your sake. In your stead, maybe might be how you want to see it, but ba'avur zeh, right? This is something that shows up a bunch of times in the Bible. Ba'avur, in for the sake, account of, shows up 49 different times, and you can look at your concordance for that. V'chayta nafshi biglalech. So this is a strange way of putting it. So conjunctive vav, chayta. So chaya means to live, right? Chayta is in the feminine singular, and that's because nefesh is in the feminine singular. So he's saying, my soul shall live, right? And he's conjugating it with the soul, and that my soul shall live biglalech. Biglal means because of, right? Golel, actually, the root gimel lamed lamed is to circle, to roll, right? Glila, right? But biglalech means your in second person feminine singular, right? Because of you, biglal. Um, yeah, in your sake. Yeah. Okay. Let's see how King James says it. Say, I pray thee. So they're translating the na as I pray thee. Say, I pray thee, thou art my sister, that it may be well with me for thy sake, and my soul shall live because of thee. Yeah. NIV, say you are my sister, so that I will be treated well for your sake, and my life will be spared because of you. Not such a big fan of all of this, especially they took out the please. I would go with the King James here. Let's see what Chabad does. Verse 13. Please say that you are my sister, in order that it will go well with me because of you, and that my soul may live because of you. Um, oh, so Rashi translates that Yitav shall be good for me, is that they'll give me gifts. They'll be like, hey, this is your sister, let me give you a gift and maybe you'll let her marry me. Yeah? Okay. So, verse 14. Vayehi kevo Avram Mitzrayma vayiru hamitzrim et haisha ki yaf'ah hi me'od. Okay. So, conjunctive vav, yehi, obviously the imperfect of to be, but gets flipped because of the vav. Kevo, right? So it's the prepositional chaf. Bo here, interestingly, is written with a vav. Oftentimes it's not. It's written b'milui. Bo, obviously, to come, right? We've discussed that before. Avram is his name. Mitzrayma, Mitzrayim meaning Egypt, and the Hey being the directional Hey. Vayiru. So conjunctive of Yiru, we've had many times. It's the imperfect third person masculine plural of to see. Hamitzrim, the Egyptians, right? The Egyptians saw. Et is the direct object marker. Ha-isha, so article and woman or the wife, but here the woman is probably best. Ki, because or that, right? That's the conjunction. Yafa means beautiful in the feminine singular, right? Yafet is masculine. Yafa is feminine. Yafim, I guess, is the masculine plural. Yafot is the feminine plural. He, you will notice that the he is written hey vav, hey vav aleph, and that's very common in the Bible, that even though it he and who are written the same way, they're said differently when. So this is the feminine singular pronoun. But it's written in the Bible pretty much, I think, pretty much always as who, right? So without the vocalizations, you have to contextually know which one it is. And here the pronoun is being used as a stand-in for the present tense of the verb to be. Me'od meaning very, and here it's written without a vav. Me'od is sometimes written very, right? Is sometimes written with a vav and sometimes without. Here it is with bechisaron. Okay, Verse 14, King James. And it came to pass that when Abram was come into Egypt, the Egyptians beheld the woman that she was very fair. I'm not sure I would translate it as fair. I would translate it as beautiful. NIV. When Abram came to Egypt, the Egyptians saw that Sarai was a very beautiful woman. Yeah, yeah. And Chabad, and it came to pass when Abram came to Egypt that the Egyptians saw the woman that she was very pretty. So Rashi saying Vehi kevo Avram Mitzrayim hayalo lomar kevoam, right? So instead of saying and when they came, it says that when he came hayalo lomar kevoam Mitzrayim ela lamad shehitmin ota beteva ve'al yedei shetiru et hameches petchud ota. So apparently, Rashi's explaining based on the Genesis Rabbah, right, Midrash Rabbah, that so it's kevo Avram when he came, right? It's in the singular instead of when they came, meaning that he tried to hide her, but he failed. Okay. Verse 15. Vayir'u otah sarai paro v'yihalalu otah el paro v'tukach ha'isha beit paro. Okay, so conjunctive of yud puts it in imperfect. The vav at the end is the third person masculine plural. And this is the root to see, resh aleph hey, right? So, and they saw, right? Because the vav flips it. Otah is the direct object marker turning into the third person feminine singular. They saw her. Sar a is the so sar means oftentimes it's translated as prince. You might want to translate it as a minister or official, right? Sar. I would probably translate it as official, but sometimes translated as princes. That does not mean that it was the children of Pharaoh. Okay. Sar a Pharaoh, so it's in the construct with Pharaoh. So the officials of Pharaoh, ve'yihalelu, so conjunctive of again, and the yud is in the imperfect. The root is hey lamed lamed, like in Tehillim, right? Hallel, right? Hallelujah, right? To praise God, and here is vayihalelu, and they praised, right? Because the imperfect is getting flipped by the vav in context, and so they praised her or commanded her. Otah, right, is the direct object marker with the third person feminine singular, and so they commanded her. They praised her. El is the preposition with the aleph. Pharaoh, Pharaoh, right? Vatukach, so conjunctive vav, tukach is, they're saying it's the consecutive imperfect, but it seems to me that it's in the hufal. It's in the, and she was taken. I don't know why they're saying it's in the kal. It seems rather obvious to me that it's in the hufal, and she was taken, right? Third person feminine singular. She was taken. Seems hufal to me. Lakachat is a to take. It is always a strange verb here. Let's try it in the constructor in lakachat. Um, uh, Gof, gof, het, hey, right? And I think it's in the hufal, right? And tukha, um, tukha, tukha. Hmm. Yeah, it seems to me it's in the thing, but they have it. They say it's in the call. Yeah, call passive. So let's look at the paw. Tukach, tukach. Yeah, I seems to me that's in the hufal. So that's what I'm gonna do as was taken. Vetukach and was taken ha isha, right, with the article woman. The woman was taken beit paro. Beit meaning house, paro obviously Pharaoh. So she was taken beit paro. She was taken to, although the to isn't there. Um, let's see. The princes also of Pharaoh saw her and commended her before Pharaoh, and the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. I don't know where they got the also. Ve'yiru ota sarei Paro. I don't see where they got the also. But let's look at NIV, verse 15. And when Pharaoh's officials saw her, they praised her to Pharaoh, and she was taken into his palace. More figurative translation. Chabad also uses princes, and Pharaoh's princes saw her, and they praised her to Pharaoh, and the woman was taken to the house of Pharaoh, right? Ve'yolota el paro halua beinehem lomar hagunazo lamelech. So, he's saying that when they were speaking to each other, ve'halu ota el paro, right? And they spoke. Okay, I mean you can read, and apparently this is a Nachmanides as well, so you can look there. Nachmanides has some very highly grammatical um, takes on the Bible. Okay. Ul Avram Heitiv Ba'avura Veyehi Lo Tson Uvakar V'Chamorim V'Avadim Ushfachot V'Atonot Ugemalim. So, like Rashi says, okay, let's translate it. So, conjunctive vav with a prepositional lamed. Avram is his name, right? Heitiv. Um, he treated well. I guess this is talking about Pharaoh treated him well, right? So this is the he feel, the root. However, tough tet vav bet is usually what I would think, but maybe yud. Yeah, maybe yud tet bet is, yeah, that's what they're saying. I could agree with that. Heitiv, right? Was made well, right? He was treated well. Ba'avura, so prepositional bet with the article avur we discussed before for her sake. The hey at the end is her sake, right? Third person feminine singular. Vayehi, so conjunctive imperfect, it gets flipped. Um, Lo is a prepositional lamed with makes it third person singular, masculine singular. Son is sheep, uvakar, so conjunctive vav. Vakar is oxen or cows or cattle. Vechamorim, conjunctive vav again. Chamor is a donkey. Well, specifically male donkey, because we'll have atonot later. It's written without the vav. It's written v'chisaron there, that way. Va'avadim, so conjunctive vav again. Eved is a slave, slave, manservant. They're saying la'avod means the root ayin bet daled means to serve, to work, and can mean to pray or worship as well. The avadim, so manservants, men servants. Ushfachot, right? And shifcha, I'm not actually sure the root shin pe het. I'm not sure where exactly that comes from, but shifcha, which is used a lot, right? And the way I sometimes remember this is from in Psalm says Ani avdecha ben amatecha pitachta l'moserai. I am your eved, I am your slave, I am your manservant. Ben amatecha, ben, well, that's a ama is another way of saying female. For some reason, Eved doesn't translate to feminine. There, ama or shifcha is used as the feminine of slave. So shfachot is female servants, female slaves, and it's written bechisaron. It's written without a vav at the end. Va'atonot, so conjunctive vav again, and atonot is female donkeys, written bechisaron both times. There could have been two vavs there, neither one is there. Ugemalim, and gamal is like is camel, right? Which is where the English word camel comes from, is gamal. So gemalim is masculine plural. And camels. So they gave him lots and lots of gifts, like Rashi when he said Yatev, right? And shall be good for me. They gave him a bunch of stuff. Pharaoh gave him a bunch of stuff, saying, "Hey, here, let her marry me." And he entreated Abram well for her sake. Okay, and he treated. Okay. And he had sheep and oxen and he asses and men servants and maid servants and she asses and camels. Okay. NIV, he treated Abram well for her sake. And Abram acquired, I don't like the acquired, and was for him, yeah, I guess you could say acquired. And Abram acquired sheep and cattle, male and female donkeys, male and female servants, and camels. So they've switched around the because yeah, I mean I can understand that. Okay, so Chabad, and he benefited Abraham for her sake. Benefited, okay, yeah, or treated well. Benefited, I guess is that's bena, right? Means good. So this is benefited. And he had flocks and cattle, and he donkeys and men servants and maid servants and she donkeys and camels, right? And Rashi explains, based on Targum Yonatan, that it was Pharaoh, because it doesn't say who treated Abram well. Okay. Verse 17. Vayenaga Havaya et Paro Negayim Gedolim ve'et beito al divar Sarai eshet Avram. Ooh. So conjunctive vav, the yud puts it in the imperfect. The root here is nun gimel ayin, which means to touch, right? But here it means plague, right? And touched, it's a to reach, to touch, reach, and strike. And I think, yeah, probably struck is the best way to put it here. Yeah, I would translate it as and struck, right? But they're using plagued, I guess. And so I would translate it and struck. Havaya is obviously the tetragrammaton. Et is the direct object marker. Paro is Pharaoh. Negaim, right? So Negaim, literally, I would say is probably welts, or I guess you could say like what are the hives, maybe, right? Negaim gedolim, great plagues. Gadol obviously means it comes from the root to grow. Gadolim meaning big, and it's written bechisaron without a vav here. So negaim gedolim, literally, I guess it would be welts, maybe. Negaim gedolim. Ve'et, so conjunctive verb, direct object marker. Beito, meaning his house. So not only Pharaoh, but also his house. Al is the preposition with the ayin, not aleph. Devar. So this is from the root to speak harshly, but devar is a thing, right? Dalet bet resh. So al davar, over the matter, right? And it's in the construct with Sarai, davar Sarai. Regarding Sarai, I would probably translate it. Al davar, regarding, about the matter of Sarai. Eshet Abram, and Eshet Abram is in the construct, right? The wife of Abraham. Isha, the hey turns into a taf in the construct form, and Abraham is obviously his name. Let's look at King James. And the Lord plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife. Okay. NIV. But the Lord inflicted, see, I like inflicted better, serious diseases, I understand using diseases, on Pharaoh and his household. I would probably use his house, because of Abram's wife Sarai. And the Lord plagued Pharaoh with great plagues, as well as his household, on account of Sarai, Abram's wife. And do we need to talk about the Rashi's? Be'et Beito and his household, Ketargumo, Va'al Anash Beite. So, Targum, the Targum, I guess, Onkelos, says it is a, and his house. Oh, so it's also the people of his house, or and the physical house itself, possibly on Devar. The word al-Devar means literally, according to her words, she would say to the angel, strike, and he would strike. That's based on the Midrash Tanchuma. Al-Pi Deborah, right? Al-Devar, so because as she would say, right, she had that capability because, of course, she was a prophetess of great ability. So al-Davar, he's saying, is on her words, not just because of. It's a midrash, and it's a midrash. It's a, it's a goddess. It's a story that is explanatory. Okay. Vayikra, we've had many times, conjunctive vav, and the yud is an imperfect. Kara is to call. Kufresh aleph. Paro. I think Pharaoh has always been without. It's always written without a vav. Um, I I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I can't remember seeing it with a vav. It's always been without a vav, I believe, all the times we've seen it. Le Avram, so prepositional lamed, Avram meaning his name, Vayomer, so conjunctive vav, Yud puts it in imperfect, Amar is two word, and it gets flipped because of the vav in context. Ma zot asiti li, asita li, lama lo higadata li, ki ishtacha hi. Okay. Sorry, I started doing the translation in the middle. And he said, "Ma." That's the interrogatory. What? Right? And yeah, zot. So this is the pronoun feminine singular being used as a stand-in for the verb to be. Mazot asita. What is this asita? What mazot asita? You have done, right? The root is aina sin hey. Asita is you have done, right? It's in the perfect, call perfect, second person masculine singular. The hey has absconded, as it often does with la'asot. Um, li, what is this? You have mazot asita li, right? So it's the prepositional lamed. The yud turns it into a first person common singular, right? What is this you have done to me? Lama is another interrogatory, meaning why. Lama. Possibly, I mean, you could say lema, right? With the prepositional lamed with the interrogatory what. So lama, meaning why, is to what, right? Lama. Lo, meaning not. Higateta, right? So the verb here is lahagid, right? Hey gimel dalid, to tell and it's in the hefil. I agree with them. It's in the hefil, although it doesn't look like it. Higadata is actually something that shows up a lot, and we use in Hebrew a lot. So it's a common verb. You can look it up in the concordance if you like. Higadata li, right? So prepositional lamed with the yud, putting it in the first person common singular. Why didn't you tell me? Lo higadata li. Why did you not tell me? Ki, that or because. Ishtacha, right? Isha meaning wife. Ishtecha is your wife, right? Second person masculine singular. The hey turns into a taf. He, again, it's written like a who, but it's he, right? It's feminine. The vocalizations tell us it's the feminine, like I mentioned before, and the pronoun is being used to indicate the verb to be. Okay, verse 18 in King James. And Pharaoh called Abram. Caleb called Abram. Vayikra, yeah, he did call, right? So I missed that. And Pharaoh called Abram and said, "What is this that thou hast done unto me? Why didst thou not tell me that was thy wife?" Okay, NIV. So Pharaoh summoned Abram. Okay, yeah, Vayikra could be translated as summoned. "What have you done to me?" he said. "Why didn't you tell me she was your wife?" Okay, can't disagree with it too much. Chabad, verse 18. And Pharaoh summoned, they also translated it as summoned. I can understand that. Abram, and he said, "What is this that you have done to me? Why did you not tell me that she was your wife?" Yep. I think very similar translation so far. Okay. Lama amarta achotihi ve'ekach ota li leisha ve'ata hine ishtacha kach valech. Okay. Uh, Pharaoh was not happy. He says, Lama, like we said, is why. Amarta, right? You said in the perfect. The tough at the end tells you that it's in the second person masculine singular of uh, Amar to say, right? Why did you say Achoti, my sister, without a vav? Achot means wife, means sister. Achoti means my sister. Written the chisaron here. He, right? Again, she is the pronoun is being used to indicate the verb to be in the present sense. Va'ekach, right? So conjunctive of the aleph tells you it's in the first person common singular in the imperfect, but gets flipped, kind of, right? Va'ekach, and I took her, right? Va'ekach, this is lakachat, which we've discussed. Otah, the direct object marker. The hey is the third person feminine singular. So I took her li for myself, right? To me. Prepositional lamed, the yud turns into first person common singular. Le isha. So prepositional lamed again, as or to. Isha means a wife, right? Ve'ekach ota li leisha, to as a wife, right? Ve'ata, so conjunctive of ata meaning now, et means a time, ata means this time, right? And now, so they're saying now therefore. Ve'ata hine, right? Behold, it's the interjection, hine. Ishtacha, here is your wife, right? Behold your wife. Hine ishtacha, here is makes sense. Ishtacha eshet, right? Isha meaning wife. Ishtacha meaning your wife. Kach valech. So this is in the imperative of lakachat and lalechet, right? So kach, take and go. Kach valech, right? Kach and take and go, right? Take her and go your way, right? Okay. King James, why saidst thou she is my sister, so I might have taken her to me to wife? Now therefore, behold thy wife, take her and go thy way. Okay. NIV, why did you say she is my sister so that I took her to be my wife? Now then, here is your wife, take her and go. Yeah, pretty much. And Chabad, why did you say she is my sister so that I took her to myself for a wife? And now, here is your wife, take her and go. Kach Abalech, Rashi explains, not like Abimelech who said, here is my land before you. Lech. He says, get out of here. Okay, that's a whole other thing. Which you can look at there. Okay, last verse of the chapter. So let's see. Vayetzav alav Pharaoh, anashim v'yishalchu oto ve'et ishto ve'et kol asher lo. Right? Vayetzav. So conjunctive vav, the yud is putting it in imperfect. So the root is tzadik vav hey, to command, right? Tzavet, where the word mitzvah comes from, like it's a mitzvah. And metzaveh, because it's in the PL, tzavah is conjugated in the PL. Vayetzav, so he commanded alav, right? So this is the preposition with the ayin, alav, upon him, right? Paro. So Pharaoh commanded men concerning him or upon him, right? God, and he sent men with him, right? Vayetzav alav paro anashim, anashim meaning men. Vayishalchu, so conjunctive vav, the yud turns it into a imperfect, but it gets flipped contextually. The root here is shin lamet chet, to send, or to send, the yishalchu, but here it means they sent him away. And shiluach does mean to send away at times, especially in the PL. Actually, this may be the verb that sometimes is in the PL and Pa'al. Yeah, there we go. Ask and thou shalt receive. I think that's here. It's in the PL. When it is in the Pa'al, it means to send. Ve'yishalchu, and they sent him. Ve'yishalchu oto, and they sent him. The direct object marker, the vav turns it into the third person masculine singular. Ve'et, so conjunctive vav, direct object marker. Ishto, meaning his wife. Ve'et kol asher lo, so conjunctive vav, direct object marker. Kol meaning all. Asher is the pronoun relative. Lo is the prepositional lamed, and the vav turns it into a third person masculine singular. So let's see what King James does with that. And Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they sent him away and his wife and all that he had. Yeah. NIV. Then Pharaoh gave orders about Abram to his men, and they sent him on his way with his wife and everything he had. I like the NIV there. Let's see what Chabad says. And Pharaoh commanded men on his behalf, and they escorted him and his wife and all that was his. Right? Right? They escorted him. Ve'yishalchu, to be explained according to Targum, they escorted him. Right? So Targum Onkelos apparently says that this is they gave him an escort away. They sent him away. Okay. That is that verse, that chapter. Hopefully this has been a blessing to you as it has been a blessing to me, to read our Father's words to us. As I often like to quote Sephania 3:9, Ki az epoch el amin safa berra, likro chulam b'shem havaya la'ovdo shchem echad. For thus I shall turn over, restore to the nations a pure, clear language, that all of them shall call in the name of God, to serve him in one accord, with one shoulder, together. And hopefully this will help in that way. Shalom.